Hey there, Bloomers and friends. Rev Kev coming to you from the Bloom office as usual. Although it's a little unusual now because we've just started to go into the triple-digit temperatures here in Palm Springs. So those of you who are basking in 78 or even 80 or 90, enjoy that cool weather as we start going into the summer months that really, put the test to people being really able to live in the desert climate. If you also, things are changing around here in the office just a little bit. If you were to look around my office right now behind Russ and the camera and over to the chairs over there, you would see that I've got my book suitcase out, and I have books getting ready to put together and take with me up to San Anselmo, north of San Francisco, to the San Francisco Theological Seminary for my month-long study that starts on Father's Day and goes until the middle of July. The one class that I'm taking, my final class, it's an elective. I might have mentioned this before, but it's on prayer and discernment in ministry. While we were gone on vacation last week, I read one of the books. This book, that book was on spiritual disciplines by Howard Thurman. This book I'm reading right now is called Quest for God by the author Abraham Joshua Heschel. Some folks that might not ring a bell right off the bat, but the way that you might recognize that name is to know that Rabbi Heschel was very involved in the civil rights movement, and in the famous picture of Martin Luther King and the others walking on the bridge in Selma, Rabbi Heschel is one of the people that's right there in the front line, on the front line with Dr. King and all the others as they were marching for those rights 50 years ago in Selma. So this is an interesting book. There's another book called Sabbath by Rabbi Heschel, and then a few other books, these that I have to have read before I leave and go up north for the class. And then the second two, that class is the first 2 weeks that I'm there, and the second 2 weeks that I'm there is to begin preparations for working on the dissertation, which I'll have more information about later on. I actually have to apply for the dissertation phase. It could be that they say I'm not capable or not ready or something like that, and I'll be honest and say I kind of doubt that. I'll be surprised if that's the case, but I do have to apply for that. It's not an automatic thing, and it's not something I was supposed to start ahead of time. So that probably will take the next 2 years in the dissertation phase, but it won't be going up for classes in the summer like I've done for the last 3 years. Yeah, 3 years at least. So that'll be a time that is for learning, and I'm always happy to be able to share some of that learning when I come back. Even right now, I as we're going through it, this rabbi, the way that he talks about prayer, it seems like it's all similes and metaphors about trying to have people understand what prayer is about. So in just the initial pages of reading this book, I find that prayer is like a flower, a meteor, a rocket, a flashlight, a seed, an idea, a light, an answer. Obviously, there are many different ways to think about prayer, and I'm sure that's also been the experience that you have had as well as I have had in our own lives. The one thing that comes through is that prayer is not magical thinking. Prayer is a way of working through and connecting, and there are many of us who share our prayers with others, and many of us who need prayers and want prayers. So I'm looking forward to learning more about that so that hopefully I can be a better pastor in helping people in times when prayers are needed and wanted. We look forward to being in prayer with everyone on Sunday morning, whether you're with us or not. We hope you can join us in worship, Communion Sunday this Sunday. Reverend Dr. Chuck Wilhelm will be bringing our message. I'll be in worship on Sunday, but I asked that we have a different preacher so that I could fully concentrate on the Southern California Nevada Conference annual gathering that's taking place on Friday and Saturday in Chapman. That's our annual meeting that our delegates and I go to and is the work of our Southern California Conference of the United Church of Christ. It's always a really good time, and lots of learning and edification goes on, as well as a little bit of business of the conference. So that's what's coming up. We hope that you'll be with us on Sunday if you can. If you can't, we hope you'll be in worship wherever you are. And we hope, as always, you'll be with us in spirit and keep us in your prayers. See you next time.